Hello and welcome back to Stitching with Cindy Botts. Today's project is another little bag project. I am still working with flannel today, and I'm really trying to use up some of my orphan blocks. Two blocks that I have left over from another project. I think they're really cute blocks, and I would make these blocks again for maybe a table runner or something. I really don't even remember what project these blocks were from. They could have been blocks that my sister gave me. I don't remember. So how I went about making this was I took the two orphan blocks and sewed them together on one seam, making a long rectangle. And then this bag I gave one handle, and I gave it two clear vinyl pockets, and on the pockets I put a binding across the top so it was easier to see where it was. And my next one that I make, I am going to put some Velcro there just to keep those pockets closed so that it's easier to use the inner part of this bag. Let me show you how I did it. So here I have two more of my orphan blocks. Now this one I do remember making these. These were leftover bits from another quilt, and this was the actual little leftover bit that I sewed together. And then this is the pattern I made, and I believe I made a secondary little table runner or wall hanging from the leftovers of the big quilt, and I had these two blocks left, so I went ahead and just sewed the two blocks together to make this long rectangle. Then these two blocks I set aside. I used their measurements to cut inside lining, and I'm just using up some batik that I had that someone gave me left over from one of their projects. I cut a piece of vinyl, and the vinyl I cut 4 inches shorter and an inch narrower. Okay, and the reason I did that, and I did it for this project here, the same, this is going to be one of these. All right, and the reason I did that was so that my pocket was down some from the top. I really want a lot of pocket space, so I don't want to lose too much, but that's how I'm doing that. And then for the side, I don't want all this vinyl and stuff in my side seam. So what I did first was I took and cut a 4-inch strip, folded it in half, pressed it, and created a binding. And that binding I sewed onto the vinyl. I just slipped the vinyl in up to the crease, and I used my clips to hold it in place, and I sewed it down. That way, when you look in the bag, you can see the edge of your pocket, and it gives it some stability and something to grab. And for this next one I make, I am going to put a piece of Velcro on it so that it adheres to the background part of the pocket, just to make it so that inner part between the two pockets, I'm able to access that easier and keep these closed. So then after I put the binding on both sides of the pocket, I simply went ahead and sewed this side. And I did 2 seams. I did one at like a 1/2 inch and one at a 1/4 inch, just to really make sure that edge is down. And I did the same on this side, and that leaves a space here for your side seams, and that worked out wonderful for me. I went ahead and sewed a line right on the halfway part. Then I did a 1/4 inch over and a 1/4 inch over. The one down the center really helps keep the bottom of the bag defined, I guess. And then by sewing up a little bit, helps that pocket stay in shape too. So that's what I did for the inside lining. Then for myself, I decided that I didn't want the zipper right on the orphan block. I don't know why I decided that, but I did. So I went ahead and cut another piece of fabric, and I cut it at 2.5, and then what I did was just fold it in half and press it, and I added that to both sides of my zipper to create a wider zipper area here. So I used dark blue thread. It shows up quite a bit here. I think next time I should have used a light blue, but that's all right. It shows up for good for the demo. So you can see here is my zipper, and then here's this extra space, and then I did one on this side and one on this side. And when I did my zipper, I made sure to sew over this part so I could trim down my zipper. Did the same on this end, making sure the pull tab's in the middle when you do it. Sew it and cut it so that you have your custom sized zipper. Then it's just a matter of sewing the zipper unit to the inside of the bag, to the lining, and to the outside of the bag, opening that up and sewing the 2 side seams, leaving a opening so that you can pull it through. Was a nice easy project. I really enjoyed it. Oops, I forgot to mention that the handle I put on was just a 4-inch piece of material folded in half, the 2 pieces put together, seam down, and then I decided just to add that into the seam where the zipper is connected to the outside of the bag, and then I just folded it up once the zipper had been installed and top stitched. You could top stitch this bag once it's done. I didn't find that to be necessary, but you could, and I think this is a really cute little tote. Again, I'm using it like a project bag. I have so many different things that I cut out and start and put in baskets, and the basket is fine, but sometimes those baskets get tipped over. This is just something cute and different, especially if you're going to be taking your project with you, sitting in the doctor's office, things like that. You can have all your supplies in one side, your fabric in the middle. That's just how that works. I am planning on doing one more, and that is a extra large size where you could take it on a retreat and really have some yardage of material in the middle, and we'll see how that goes. I'm enjoying working with this vinyl and using up some orphan blocks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, tell your friends, leave a comment. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye now.